A dozen small decisions to evade discomfort creates a direction so strong you mistake it for purpose. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate 1.03, pitch minus 0.3, volume underscore gain underscore dB 0.0, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker Dan Desmarques, text, put simply, avoidance is rewarded, social patterns are copied, repetition becomes trajectory. That is the mechanism. That's the mechanism. Style, null, speaking underscore rate 1.10, pitch plus 0.6, volume underscore gain underscore dB plus 0.8, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker Dan Desmarques, text, to make that visible I use geometry. In sacred geometry, an upright triangle, point up, represents emergence, ascent, center moving outward. An inverted triangle points away from the axis. Its energy spills outward before it finds center. If your life is organized by an inverted triangle, your actions look purposeful but originate from an edge, not a center. Gnostic teachings speak of turned worlds, a cosmos reflected and distort. Rosicrucian alchemy asks you to invert the inversion. Take what has been spilled outward and return it to the internal hearth. Stoics would name this a reorientation of desire. Want what is within your control, your axis, and let externals fall away. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate 0.95, pitch plus 1.2, volume underscore gain underscore dB plus 0.3, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker Dan Desmarques, text, metaphorically imagine a sundial. If the gnomon is tilted, every shadow you read will mislead you. Sacred geometry gives us a corrective image, realign the gnomon, restore the axis, and the world reads true again. That corrective is not mystical. It is energetic and architectural. You change the pivot and the motion of your life changes with it. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate 1.00, pitch minus 0.4, volume underscore gain underscore dB minus 0.1, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker Dan Desmarques, text. Here's the deeper truth. Being oriented is not about external markers, titles, relationships, roles. It's axial. You can be very visible and very off-axis. The test isn't applause, it's coherence. Do your choices originate from a steady inner axis or from reactive edges? Energetically, choosing from the center conserves force and builds a stable field. Choosing from the edge dissipates energy into avoidance, obligation, or inherited scripts. One looks like creative power. The other looks like exhaustion disguised as duty. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate 0.98, pitch plus 0.2, volume underscore gain underscore dB 0.0, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker Dan Desmarques, text, now the practical shift, the true north calibration. This takes 3 minutes and a single question. Step 1. Sit or stand. Place a hand on your chest. Inhale slowly for 4 counts. Exhale for 6. Do that twice. Step 2. Ask the question quietly. Does this choice come from my axis or from my edge? Don't answer immediately. Notice the felt sense. Step 3. Visualize a vertical line through your spine, a subtle gnomon of center. See whether the decision aligns with that line or pulls you away. Finally, micro-decision test. Pick a simple action related to the choice you face. Choose the smaller action that aligns with your axis for the next hour. If your inner sense resists, note that resistance without dramatizing it. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate, 1.05, pitch, plus 0.4, volume underscore gain underscore dB, plus 0.6, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker, Desmarques, text. A practical example, you're offered a project that pays more and keeps you visible, but it asks you to repeat patterns that felt hollow before. Calibration. The breath, the question, the spine line. If your chest tightens and your inner line tilts away, say no or negotiate a micro boundary. If the line steadies and the breath eases, accept and proceed. The practice trains your compass. One shift changes everything. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate, 1.10, pitch plus 0.7, volume underscore gain underscore dB plus 0.5, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker, then Desmarques, text, recap name, the inverted compass, mechanism, avoidance, social mirroring, and cumulative vector. Reframe, orientation is axial integrity, not external markers. Shift, the true north calibration, 3 minutes, 1 question, a spine visualization, and a micro decision test. Try it tonight before a small choice, a message you plan to send, a meeting you will attend, a task you delay. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate, 1.00, pitch minus 0.2, volume underscore gain underscore dB, 0.0, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker, Desmarques, text, a brief caution, if you carry deep wounds or trauma, this practice is use it to build awareness. If something feels heavy or unsafe, reach for qualified guidance. This work is about practical recalibration, not quick fixes. Quote, comma, style, null, speaking underscore rate, 0.92, pitch minus 1.0, volume underscore gain underscore dB minus 0.8, closing curly bracket, comma, opening curly bracket, speaker, Desmarques, text, that is the pattern, that is the mechanism, and that is your shift today. If you're ready to decode the full architecture of your life, explore my complete library at dondesmarques.com. The pattern is the prison, awareness is the key. I'll see you in the next episode. Style, null, speaking underscore rate, 1.08, pitch plus 0.2, volume underscore gain underscore dB plus 0.7, closing curly bracket, closing square bracket, comma, CTA underscore block. Try the True North calibration tonight. Before a small choice, spend 3 minutes. Breathe, ask the question, visualize your spine line, and make the micro decision test. Then report one result at dandesmark.com. One sentence about what shifted. One shift changes everything. SFX underscore notes. Brief soft wind during cold, open to accent the compass image. No embedded cue in spoken text. Single low resonance bell at the start of the True North calibration section. Do not include in spoken text. Closing square bracket, comma, safety. Religious dogma or sectarian claims, no personal name, no private data present. Tone underscore check. Educational, warm, direct, reflective. Questions about trauma and professional support included where appropriate. Closing curly bracket. Closing curly bracket.